In this video, we're going to have a look at how to graph a quadratic function on the Ti84plusCe. This is the same method that you would use on a Ti84 Plus or Ti84plusCe Python, Ti84 Plus Silver Edition. So same process on the different Ti84 Plus calculators. Firstly, we're looking at the function that we have here, x squared plus 5x minus 9. We're going to type that into our y equals. So we're looking for the button right at the top here that has y equals. We're going to press that. We'll see that there are a few different options there to type into. This is so that we can put multiple functions in at the same time. So we're going to start by typing our x squared. So we press our button here that has x, t, theta, n on it. That gives us our x. Then we find this button here that has squared. So we're going to type the squared there. Another option for typing in squared, if we go back, is to press our up arrow here. This gives us a power, and then to put the number 2 there for squared. I'm just going to arrow across, and then I'm going to press plus 5x using that same button again, and then take away 9. To graph my function, I'm going to press this graph button here, and you can see that it draws my graph, my function, y equals x squared plus 5x minus 9. Now, I can see that I have my function is coming down and then up again, but I can't see that turning point on there. So I can use the window button here to change what I can see. Now, I need to see some smaller y values to see the bottom of that. So I'm going to leave my x values at negative 10, 10. I'm going to come down to my y minimum, and I'm going to try by putting negative 20 and see if that helps. I press graph again, and now when it draws the graph, yes, I can see my turning point there on my graph. I'm also going to show you how you can use the calc function here to find some features on that graph. So if I press second trace, I can use that to find a few different things. I can find a value on the line, so I can give it an x value and it will tell me the y value for that. So I'm going to try that. I'll press enter. It's asking for what x value. So I might say, what is my y value when x equals 3? And I can see that that is going to be y equals 15. I can also try some of the other features there. The zeros, that's telling me where my x-intercepts are. So I want to look on my graph where those x-intercepts are. Now, the issue is I have 2 x-intercepts. I can see one that is in the negative x values and one that's in the positive x values. So I'm going to look for this one first. Now, I could put my trace on and follow that to see whereabouts that is. My calculator is asking for left bound. So I want to say how far left is it going to look between. So I'm going to say negative 10 because that's what I've got in my window of what I'm looking at. And then I'm going to say for my right bound 0. So it's going to find between negative 10 and 0 where that line crosses the x-axis. And I press enter again, and it says where my 0 is there at negative 6.40. And my y value of that, it says 1e to the negative 12. That's saying practically 0. Then I'm going to do the other one. So I'll do second trace 0. And I'll now go between 0 and 10 and press enter again. And it's going to show me this one over here that is at 1.405. And in this time it says y equals 0 for that. As I said before, you can just press the trace button and then you can make that cursor follow the line and look at different values. So you could look at where it crosses the y-axis there. You could trace it round to see whereabouts the turning point is. Now we would also call this the minimum on the graph, so I'm going to also show you how to do that using the method we were just using for zeros and for a value. But you can see that it's around negative 2.42 and around negative 15. You can keep that trace going and have a look where it crosses the x. Now we're going to work out that turning point using our second trace method. So here we've got a minimum. So we tell it we want our minimum. It's going to ask where between. So I'm going to say between negative 10 and 10 because that's on my screen. I can only use ones that are currently visible on the screen. press enter again, and it says negative 2.499, so that was where we were predicting, and negative 15.25. So when we did that trace, that was where we saw that happening. I'm going to finish the video at that point now, and I'm going to look at some other skills in the next video.